to episode 79 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews, the podcast where we take a random movie from Metacritic's all-time movie list. This is Colin.
This is Niall.
This is random movie 3880. It's Mad Max from 1979.
Never heard of it.
No, never. It runs for 1 hour, 28 minutes. Metascore of 73. A user score of 6.4. It had a budget of 200,000 Aussie dollars.
Which is $12.
Which is 15,000 shillings.
Yeah, shekels.
And it brought in a box office of 99.75, and that's why we still have the movie iterations of it today.
Now, when you say 99.75, you're talking millions, not...
Mils.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice return, really, isn't it?
Beautiful return. George Miller directed all Mad Maxes he's been involved in.
He's like 600 years old now.
Yeah, as we said last week, he's strangely enough produced and wrote Babe and Babe, Pig in the City.
Basically the same movie as Mad Max.
Yeah, just replace cars and motorbikes with pigs and farm animals.
That'll do, Colin. That'll do.
Yeah, that'll do, Max. That'll
do, yeah.
He also directed Happy Feet and Happy Feet 2, which is same as Mad Max as well.
Yeah, similar teams.
Yeah. So I think I remember you saying at the end of last episode, I'm sure this has been dated. Was it dated?
To me it was. I don't know about you, but some of the stuff was a bit harsh. I don't know if it dated as bad as I thought it was going to date, but yeah, it's pretty badly dated. Yeah.
I don't even remember. Not really, no. I think it's dated because the one thing that really just pissed me off about it was the music.
They didn't have much in the way of...
It's just weird. It's just, there was scenes where they just had this intense, musical stabs, and it just was...
Halls of Justice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I don't think they spent a lot of money on the music here. I don't think they spent a lot of time on the music here.
Like, the music wouldn't have sounded out of place in Conan. There's a lot of boom, 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 boom. Oh, it's a picture of you driving down the road. Boom, boom, boom.
Going to get some ice cream. Bam, bam,
boom.
Yeah.
It really just felt out of place at times, the music. I think there was, like, I don't know, they wanted to make a really, like, Hollywood-esque movie from epic.
In fairness, I think that's like when you've got €12 to put, to scrape together, and you just feck it all in on the music.
Yeah.
Everything's epic.
Yeah. I guess that's what they tried to go for. But it was the one thing that took me out of the experience.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you. There isn't much in the way of music, and then, a crappy Halls of Justice sign with dun 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 dun.
Yeah. Comes out of nowhere.
Kind of hits wrong.
It does.
Almost comedic.
Yeah, it almost was to me, to be honest with you. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody on YouTube has put all the, like, scenes from this where it's just weird, out of place music on it. The movie starts off with, like, a Hitchcockian type intro music, feels dated, all, like, straight off the bat. It's got trumpets and the drums that we've just already tried to mimic with our own mouths. Poorly. But it is very in your face. Here's the music, and you're going to just feel weird about this, and it's just the titles.
Yeah, listen, we've got enough money to do special effects, which is buying a bunch of cars, or 4 cars and a few motorbikes. That's the budget gone, lads. So it's dun or nothing.
All right, we'll just hire the school orchestra then.
Yeah, just give us epic, okay? Orchestra, epic. Everything's epic. He's having a cup of tea, epic.
Yeah, you with the big drum, it's your time to shine. I know you don't really get a lot of chances in the songs that we do, but you're going to be used for every second of these songs.
In fact, everybody else you're fired. Just the guy in the drums.
Yeah, just the drums. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's great.
Perfect.
Next one. Next scene.
Yeah.
But what about the world that's presented to you?
Several years from now, as it starts with.
True.
It is obviously this is the movie before the next movie, which is Mad Max Road Warrior, where a dystopian future. This is a precursor to that, just before society collapses. In fairness, it does get that theme across because everything's kind of slipping.
Yeah.
The police force slipping, the hospital slipping, government officials obviously slipping in this. So it's kind of feels grimy and dirty and just a bit dirty. Yeah, just a bit filthy and corrupt.
Yeah, it's certainly. I kind of like the world building that they did. They didn't really go. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of exposition to why the fuck it was happening, but that's fine.
Yeah, there was news being played in the background and talk of corruption, blah blah blah. But it's incidental to this movie.
Yeah,
why stuff is happening is irrelevant.
I didn't care for it. I didn't really need to know. And to be honest with you, the sort of scenery, the external shots is sort of rural as well. It's not really, you're not getting a city vibe or a town vibe even.
I'm not sure if this was intentional, but it felt like there was a bit of a filter put on everything just to make everything a bit more grainy, a bit more, bit dirtier.
Yeah, really? Yeah,
I didn't check up on it, but I felt everything, even the nice country scenes felt a bit, a bit disused or a bit unkempt,
Yeah. I didn't get that. It wasn't sort of apparent to me. I thought it was well done. I thought it was produced well for the amount of money, obviously.
Oh no, absolutely. I think the production of this is fantastic for the €12 that they had. I think the choice of shots were fantastic. There's a few I'll talk about later on that I absolutely love. Specifically the last scene, but we'll get to that.
We'll get to that, yeah. So I think the scene is set quite quickly. As we say, there's not a lot of backstory or exposition. There's a car chase straight from the off, and actually watching it again, I was like, yeah, this is exactly what Fury Road was all about. It was just pure gas guzzling cars and vehicles.
Yeah, like very little story. I think that the first scene is a cop whizzing and another cop peeping on some couple having it off. So
yeah, it was weird. It was straight off the bat, like very
high
in your face.
Fatality Road sign pops up.
Yeah, like there's a guy on the run. He's a cop killer and
Night Rider.
He's just going nuts and he kind of
witness me, toe cutter, and that line comes back in Fury Road.
Oh,
because the guy playing toe cutter is also the guy who plays Immortan Joe in that movie. Hugh Keays-Byrne, slightly older than that, and covered in a load of prosthetics, so it's kind of hard to tell. But that's what his war boys were shouting, witness me, as they go off and get killed.
Yeah.
So it follows through lovely, actually.
Yeah. It's very good. And this guy, he's quite good. Like so there's a couple of stupid cops that are chasing him.
Yeah.
And they're terrible actors as well, which makes it even worse.
Did you ever see the movie Chopper?
No.
He reminded me of the main character from that, just unhinged, violent, and just psychotic. This felt a lot like that.
Yeah, it was good. And like I said, the stupid cops are like bumbling and keep crashing the car and everything. And Goose
fighting over who gets to drive the car.
Yeah. What do you think of the cars, the actual cop cars?
The Interceptors.
Yeah, the Interceptors.
I love them. I don't know about you. But
I like them.
There was something, I don't know,
different.
Machismo, a whole lot of machismo about them. They're tough looking. From car. Where the fucking from? They're muscle cars. And then there is one car later on that is just effing iconic. The last of them,
Which
the V8s.
Doesn't really, he doesn't really get to use it until the last 10 minutes of the movie. Which is one of the downsides of this movie.
The last 10 odd minutes of this movie, are really what sets this movie apart from movies of the same value of the time,
But
200,000 Aussie dollars kind of fills a normal movie to this point. But then the last 15, 20, chef's kiss. They really spent the money well.
But I think it's quite quick. I think the
More
timing.
of that.
Yeah, the timing of the plot is quite off for me. I think there's a lot of nothingness for like 40 minutes, and then all right, well that happens, so I'm gonna kill you all, and it happens really quickly. The end.
Yeah, 90% of the movie is sane Max. It's only 10% of the movie where Mad Max appears.
Right. Yeah.
And I know that is essential to the movie, that you have, you build up the reasoning behind him losing the plot.
Yeah, and but we don't get the payoff. We like a revenge movie is a revenge movie. We get the payoff, and it's 10 minutes of revenge. But even the head honcho guy dies quite quickly.
He does, doesn't he? Poor old
actually, the only guy that has a semblance of a death is Johnny, right?
Johnny the boy, yeah. And I like this scene though. I love this scene.
But that's because we actually saw him do something a bit more than Toe Cutter early on. So there was a bit of an arc there
he's kind of fleshed out as a character. There's 3 characters that in my head that are fleshed out properly. Johnny the boy, Max, and the goose.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I think maybe get rid of a few of the bikers and cut back on some of the cops, especially the half-naked, muscular police chief. Fifi, yeah.
I thought he was great. I thought he should have been fleshed out more.
It's too many nipples for my liking.
He looked like a G.I. Joe character. He
did. I think there should have been more of him if you're going to do it at all.
Yeah, because I think he's got the looks, he's got the temperament, like he's the boss, he likes Max, he wants to keep him on, and he's watering plants in one scene.
People don't believe in heroes anymore.
Yeah, he's
keep
great.
Your guy.
He's great. He's got lines. He's got the visualness.
He's got the big man boobs going on. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's good. He actually, Roger Ward is the actor's name. He hasn't done anything really much else, which is
he has a lot of on-screen presence in this.
He does. I like him actually as a character, but he doesn't do anything,
unfortunately.
No. Yeah. So listen, this entire first setup of the movie is just there's a gang. Toe Cutter is the head honcho. This guy is going nuts. Knight Rider. I'm the Knight Rider. And so he's
being chased down by the cops, really. And I think
Goose joins it. Goose is the motorbike cop. He's Max's buddy. Stupid cops crash, and so does Goosey boy.
But Goose gets taken out for not his own fault, but he manages to keep himself alive, and he's kind of blessed in his ability to not die.
Yeah.
So far,
we do have very small snippets of Max's back and his leather outfit.
I think this is set up quite well.
Yeah, it's good.
Subtly introduce him, then there he's fixing the engine. You just see his hands mucking about with the engine. Then you see his back, the leather. He looks fucking awesome. Then as the bad guy gets closer, he's just putting on his shades. This is well done.
Yeah.
Simple, effective.
Yeah, and he pretty much deals with it by playing chicken with the guy, and he gets off.
Absolutely wipes him out by making him go the other way, and then the psycho guy just starts crying and then runs into it. He runs past a crashed truck and then into several cars, and the whole thing explodes. Brilliant.
Yeah. Done.
Yeah.
And so then, for some strange reason, then we transition into a woman playing a saxophone.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Fireball. All right, next scene, saxophone playing wife, which doesn't look like she's playing it at all.
No, she's not. Well maybe she is, but maybe she's playing it, recording it at another time, but she's not playing it right there and then.
Yeah, this is Jessie, Max's wife. So the thing about I found in the first half of the movie, Jessie really doesn't talk a lot at all.
No,
it's only when they go on the run a little bit does she start talking. I think when she goes get the ice cream as she starts talking. All the rest she's just listening to him,
which is a shame because I actually think she was pretty decent when she did get pieces where she's got the talky bits.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, The baby had a gun on the ground.
What the? I've that circled many times. A baby's holding a revolver by the barrel. The hell was that about?
I thought he was going to
freak me out. Like,
yeah, I thought he was going to like, all right, I'm heading off to work. I have to head to work early. I thought he was just going to go over and nonchalantly just take the gun from the kid and walk out, and just that would have been a good.
The gun's left with the kid. It's never addressed.
It's never addressed, and then we don't see the baby for another good 20 minutes. Like, I was like, "Where's the baby?" Because
I have that written down about four or five places. Because there's scenes with the two of them together lying on the beach and stuff. And I'm like, who's looking after the kid?
There's nobody. They get a dog.
The kid's like 6 months old. What's going on?
It's crazy. It's like, what the hell? Where's the kid?
And there's another scene later on with May and
yes,
and then she goes, "Where's Sprago?"
Yeah, where's the Sprago?
Shouldn't you effing know this?
Yeah, she goes down to the beach and just leaves them on a blanket or whatever. Then just forgets about it.
Oh yeah, the future's screwed if that's the caliber of people.
I thought this would become a theme through the movie because she sign languages. I'm crazy about you, and I thought that might become. He does it back to her later on, but there's no meaning to it whatsoever.
No, none whatsoever. I thought it might have been a MacGuffin or something to use later on when she's kidnapped and he's able to sign her or something like that. It's not used. That would have been interesting, but maybe they'd set it up originally and they'd cut some scenes out or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I wrote about it. I thought it would be very important, but it wasn't.
No.
Next scene, he gets introduced to the last of the V8s, but he doesn't use it until the last 10 minutes. Nice black.
Yeah, well, he's sitting looking at it and he's going, vroom, 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 vroom. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's nice. Oh, yeah. But then he doesn't get to drive it.
No, he doesn't drive it. It's like the glaive.
Yeah, but it's explained why it's there and why the engineer built it. It was to keep Max on the hook. It was a really weird scene that explains that, with a guy in some sort of like Bushido outfit, but a nerd, like a pencil pusher. Yeah. But he's also kitted out as a trainee ninja type thing. What? What's going on there? Fifi's chatting to him. He puts on the helmet. Fifi doesn't bat an eyelid at some lad who is an accountant dressed like a ninja.
Yeah, he was like, he said something like, you're seducing him with candy to keep him.
Yeah. Your top pursuit man did.
One thing I liked.
Entice him with this car, candy.
Yeah, one thing I liked about the movie was the incessant and constant radio of the woman just giving updates.
Yeah. And that's a nice little, I don't know what the thinking was behind it, but it does build a certain element of, how effed the world is at this time, because there's constant crime and constant people dying on the road and, shootings and killings. And it's just her reporting all this stuff out.
Yeah. It's kind of like the radio announcer in The Warriors, giving a sort of a background story to what's going on.
I have to say something rather bad, but I've never actually seen that movie.
Wow.
I know it's a movie you should have seen, but I have not.
Damn.
I know. It's on my list that I've never got to it.
Kind of similar to this dystopian sort of vibe, actually, but better.
Gangs and violence and such.
Gangs and violence. And it's the uniqueness of the different types of gangs. But anyway, hopefully we'll get to that at some point. Anyway, listen, the Knight Rider boys are out to get Max. He's found out their crew are looking for a friend, and they head into this town and park up.
Yeah, it's a weird scene.
Yeah.
Toe Cutter and the lads go up to the lad who is a mechanic / train guy and pick up a coffin with whatever's left of Mr. Knight Rider in it.
Yeah.
It seemed like a very small coffin.
Yeah, probably half of his body.
Yeah, he's kind of been incinerated. What's left is probably a leg or two.
But again, there's nothing evolves from that either. Like he's seen with the coffin in the next scene, but there's nothing meaningful about it, really. I thought there might be something. There was no dialogue at the coffin. There was no sort of connection with their ex-comrade or whatever,
Again, I think it's just used as a MacGuffin to move the plot along, to give an excuse to go after Goose and Max.
Yeah. Anyway, they're causing havoc in the town. They chase this couple and smash it up, and
the couple get away in this really fancy hot rod type car, but they get chased down by the two-cutter lads, top cat in the gang. They chase him down and F up the car, do bad things to him by all accounts, and not great things to her either.
Yeah, so the car smashing scene is, I guess, well edited and well shot. It's just random, just constant smashing of pieces of the car, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's very violent. It's very disturbing. I think it's done well, actually.
Yeah, but I have a note here. It was stupid music when it was being played, and then it just.
I think that you can say that for every scene.
Yeah. I just had to note it down again. But again, there was a very abrupt, sharp transition to just crows cawing, and that's sort of a background noise you hear throughout the entire movie. But this car smashing scene just stops, and then it's just. I was like, okay.
Two versions of this movie. I'm not sure which one I have seen, but one had it cut away a few seconds early to the crows and cut out some of the violence. That meant in the UK it would have been more than just X-rated, in fact banned. So I think that's possibly what I've seen as well, because I didn't see anything that I thought would have got this banned. So I think something horrible might have happened in that scene.
Oh, really? No, that's maybe that makes sense because it's quite an abrupt crow.
Yeah. I only just copped that, but just before we started chatting. So yeah, I think we've both seen the less violent version of this movie.
Yeah. Well, we can use abrupt crow as an analogy for any sharp editing we see from now on.
Instant
it was an abrupt crow. Yeah. All right. So they got called out. They see the sort of husband or boyfriend dude running naked across a field, basically. And
well, before we go out to that, as they're being called out, as it's being called on the radio in the car, Goose has got a broken leg at this point because he came off the bike earlier. But so he's now running with Max for a little bit until his leg heals. But while they're being called out, they're chatting to some guy with a sidecar on his bike.
Yeah, true.
It is the weirdest thing ever. He's got his girlfriend / wife in the sidecar, and all you can see of her is her head in a bubble.
In a bubble. Yeah, I was
just
thinking
so freaky.
It was weird.
It's hard to explain. It's just like a box with a bubble that she can look out.
It's like one of those cat backpacks.
Yeah. It's
where you just see the cat in the bubble.
Freaky.
It was weird. It was very stupidly. It was like they gave the guy some task, basically. Yeah, make a futuristic sidecar. All right, I'll put a bubble there instead of just a windscreen.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that choice, but I say leave it in. It's just quirky enough to be memorable.
Fine. Yeah, it's fine. I didn't even take note of that, but I did sort of go, yeah, that's weird. But
yeah.
Anyway, they head to the thing, guy. They answer me this. I just don't understand why or know why. Why did the Night Riders leave the guy behind?
So that he could get captured by the cops, by the Bronze.
The Browns, or the Bronze. Do you know why?
No, there was no particular. He was off his bin, so he couldn't actually ride his bike at that point. So they were like, "Yeah, screw you, hippie." I think that was the.
So this was Johnny, right?
Johnny the boy.
Yeah. But I don't know. Did they mean so that they could get info on the cops or whatever? I don't think he got much info.
No, well, there wasn't much info to get.
He's out of his gourd.
Yeah, he was out of his gourd, and he kept shouting, "Night Rider! Night Rider!"
Yeah.
That's when they cop. Wait a second. He's related to that guy we arrested.
Yeah. Anyway, they send him back. They bring him back to the police station.
Halls of justice. Dun dun dun.
Oh yeah, it's not. Yeah, boom boom. It's not a police station. It's Hall of Justice.
Yeah.
They're there. Goose becomes mad because some suits come in and say let him go, so
because nobody turned up to the court to testify, and the implication here, or the assumption here, I suppose, that we were supposed to take is that they have all been intimidated by Mr. TC and the gang.
Yeah. So off he goes. Goose gets a couple of hits into him, but he's very antagonistic. Johnny the boy.
Johnny the boy does say, "We know who you are. We know where you live.
We know who you are. We know where you live." Anyway, we have a bikers on the beach scene. What's the sort of meaning or importance of the dummy and Johnny shooting the dummy, and then Toe Cutter taking him into the water, taking Johnny the boy into the water? Any sort of meaning behind that?
I couldn't really. I tried. I couldn't infer anything out of it.
That's
think
why I'm
maybe
asking.
that he's maybe that Johnny the boy was reckless, and not that the rest aren't, but he was kind of uncouth in their terms. I think that's maybe what they were trying to portray here. That's an absolute stab.
I thought he was going to like drown him.
Drown him. Yeah,
yeah.
I thought he was going to drown him, but then I remembered I've seen this movie before, and I know he doesn't get drowned.
So yeah, no, that was me. I was like, oh, maybe he'll drown him and scare him and say, hey, just don't be so fucking nuts next time.
Yeah, but
anyway,
just hugs him and looks at the sunset.
Yeah, for quite a romantic thing. Anyway, so basically Goose is having a nice night out and somebody sabotages his bike. He gets up the next
Johnny
day.
the boy sabotages his bike.
He does. And so he just sort of
gets on his bike. He goes ridiculous speeds down the road.
Well, as he do.
Yeah, because he's the Goose man, you know?
Yeah.
He goes fast.
Yeah. So
then his back wheel locks up and the Goose goes flying.
The Goose is cooked.
No, that's later.
Yeah, he is now in the next scene. Yeah. So Johnny the boy comes over to him and Goose is obviously...
No, he doesn't. What happens next is some weird old fella with a truck.
Oh, yeah.
On a bicycle helmet. He says, here's we've put your bike in the back. You just drive it back to base.
There you go, yeah.
I'll cycle home.
Yeah, it was weird because then they're waiting for the truck. Like they
knew it. So I'm not sure how they managed to figure that out and how they knew he wasn't going to die in the crash that just preceded that.
Yeah.
But listen, no point trying to make logic out of it. He throws a bit of a wheel through the windscreen of the Goose's truck. It was a great throw. Great. A bit of stunt work there, actually. But yeah, anyway, the Goose spins off the road, tumbles the truck, and the lads turn up. Goose is stuck in his seatbelt, so he can't get out. And there's petrol leaking down from the canister on the back of the truck onto the ground underneath Mr. Goose. That ain't great for Mr. Goose, especially when he's stuck. And then Toe Cutter asks Johnny the boy, light my cigarette with you, which he does. And then he goes, light a second one, Johnny. Johnny's not happy about this. He doesn't really want to kill anybody.
No.
But Toe Cutter shakes him until the match goes flying. And now the Goose is cooked.
Yeah. I didn't really know if Johnny threw it or it just kind of fell in that direction. I just never really knew.
I'm not sure either.
Badly
same
edited.
end effect, really.
Yeah. So the Goose is cooked. Max goes into the hospital and his burnt arm falls out of the bed. Again, yes, horns appear because we don't see Goose's face, but we can see Max's reaction.
Yeah, it was cheaper.
The horns blare as he sees his face. He's sort of having nightmares back home, heads down to the beach and just talks to Jess. Jess doesn't say anything still.
Yep. I have emotions, you know.
Yeah, I have range. I'm going to be a Hollywood superstar.
Yeah.
So the next scene is where Fifi, the Butch G.I. Joe character, is watering his hydrangeas and... Max hands his letter of resignation, and you said, he said something about heroes. We need heroes. The world has forgotten heroes. We need you to be a hero. And Max is like, shag off. Yeah, Max says he's scared of the rat circus. He's
any longer out in that road, and I'm one of them.
Exactly. But then G.I. Joe action hero is just says, just take a 2-week break, come back to me and see what you think. You're addicted, Max. You're not going anywhere. And he's kind of right. Yeah. Anyway, they head off on a nice little road trip, and they get a dog. There's this quick scene where they get a dog, and this is where I'm going, where's the fucking baby?
Yeah. Apparently the baby was in the van the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the baby's fastened and it's just thrown into the boot.
Yeah. Like,
that's how babies are carried around the place, right? And this was the late 70s and early 80s.
true,
Just threw them in the
yeah.
boot, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so like they go, there's just zero conversation or dialogue from Jess, and we get to a point
Just
where they're
driving
trying to
along,
get
happy, smiley.
trying to get a spare tire, and Jess says, I'm going to go for ice cream. Oh, the baby's in the car. Okay, cool.
Yeah, she mentioned Sprago in this.
Yeah,
Sprago's
Sprog.
convinced me to go get some ice cream.
Say
I
yeah.
don't know why she's English.
Yeah, I don't know either. And I didn't know why Max is dressed like an office job worker here in this scene, because he was a leather plaid.
Happy life, husband, daddy thing. That's what he was doing.
He was doing that sort of.
He basically had a jumper tied around his neck, effectively.
True.
Very wholesome sort of la 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 la.
Yeah.
Doing all the nice things.
Yeah, the director said, all right, we need to buy something at Penny's. Primark or whatever.
The Australian equivalent is.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the ice cream shop is right beside where the bikers are sunbathing in the beach. Female.
My favourite type.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, that's not great.
Try to harass Jessie, and
Jessie's having none of it. Tokoro makes a mistake here. Licks her ice cream. Don't do that, man.
Don't ever lick anybody's ice cream.
Smacking the nads for that, buddy.
Nice one. Heads off.
Yeah.
Somebody tries to grab onto the car, and you see him rolling in the rearview mirror, and it's like, oh,
yeah, he throws
okay.
a chain, or he hooks on a chain and tries to grab on, but he's yanked to the ground, and he's holding his arm, shall we say.
We shall say.
Yeah, in a lot of pain.
Yeah. So they get the hell out of there and head to, they talk to a cop, and the cop goes, don't worry about it.
Ziggy says, don't worry about it, just head on up to Maze, you'll be grand, chill the beans.
They do actually they stop somewhere, and the dog sniffs around the back of the car.
Yeah, they stop at a lake, and and Jessie freaks out, which, fair enough.
Yeah, it's the hand. Shitty hand.
Shitty hand.
So anyway, they're at this farm that they find with this old lady, which is nice.
May.
And yeah, he's fixing the car, and she's like going, I'm going to go out to the beach. And this is when he does this sign language.
I love you.
No, I'm crazy about you. Yeah. My question is, in the next scene, is how far is this fucking beach?
I know. And again, I was asking, I wrote down, where's the baby? Because he doesn't
have
the baby.
It, exactly.
May didn't have the baby.
Nobody had the baby.
Effing baby.
Nature had the baby.
Nature was growing this baby, and they turned up every now and then and, give it ice cream.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway. She goes through a forest. She climbs down a cliff to get to this beach. Anyway, she has a nice time, and then she goes back, and there's people hiding in the
doggy runs
forest.
away early.
Of course. That's a good point. Yeah. And she's running back.
This upsets me, because I know what happens to the doggy, because I remembered at this point when the dog ran off. And it's a Springer, and I love Springers. I think Max is right. Kill them all.
Yeah, it's very much like our old friend Keanu.
John Wick. Don't mess with the dog. Yeah, the wife and kid. Yeah, that's terrible. But the dog,
it's fine. Dog. The whole thing was about the dog. She's running through the forest back to the thing. She's paranoid. She can hear people rustling and blah blah blah. She runs into the dog hanging from the tree, which is just like a curly blob. It's not like the head of the dog is there. It's just like some sort of mass of fur.
Yeah. I don't think they had the budget to
plaster cast
dog, without actually killing a dog, which they weren't willing to do, thankfully.
Well, you never know. Anyway, so they head back, and she's running. She runs into Benny or something. Before she goes, the old lady goes, "If you run into Ben, I just don't mind him.
He's helpless. He's don't worry about him."
Yeah. Anyway, she bumps into him, and they both run back, and Max hears guns, so he's on his way to sort of blah blah blah. So she goes into the house with the old lady, and he's she goes, this is when you said it. This is when you ask the question because she's inside getting consoled, and Max is going.
He runs off into the forest with the gun. Yeah,
called the Dark One.
Yeah.
Did we ever find out what the Dark One is?
No, I didn't really get it.
I don't know either. Maybe it was the guy with the dark car. Because he gets the car then next. Well, he goes to the court of justice.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, she this is when she sits down on the sofa 10 minutes later and goes, "Oh, where's my fucking kid?
Sprago, where's the Sprago?" This is the question I've been asking throughout this movie.
For the last 40 minutes, we've been asking, "Where's the kid?" And what have you done with him?
Is it holding a revolver?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, the kid shot himself in the first scene. That's why we're not seeing him, and they're getting over it, and that's why he's mad.
Yeah, it's dear God, it's weird. That revolver still has me freaked out.
Yeah. Anyway, the night walkers, night riders, whatever the hell they are,
night walkers.
They're there in the farm, and they've got the kid.
Yes.
And
yes.
Cundalin wants his hand back.
Yeah. We'll swap you his hand for the baby. That's going to be difficult. I think they chucked it.
Yeah, it was decrepit. But a good old Nana, she's got a big gun, and she's like, "All right, boom,
into the shed with you lads."
And 10 of them are going, "Okay, shit, sorry, we don't have any guns."
Yeah, that by itself is also unusual. They run around killing people on motorbikes, but wouldn't think to have any form of weaponry.
No. Yeah, it's weird. They just use their vehicles to manslaughter people and murder them. It's weird that, like, I found that scene stupid. Like, the Nana gets them all in there, and they walk away. 10 seconds later, they start kicking the door down. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah, and the door doesn't hold up all that well.
No. They get into the car. The car is fucked.
Well, he was fixing the fan belt when she came running out of the forest.
Oh, yeah.
So, whoops.
Stupid Max. Should blame
What are you
himself.
doing, Max? You maintain your car. You should know this.
Yeah. They runs out, and she's like going, "All right, I'm running for help along the road with the baby." And the Nana's there going, "All right, I'll shoot them with one pellet, and that'll be fine."
Yeah. In fairness, the Nana can't run because she got some sort of weird leg braces on.
She does.
So anyway, she's going nowhere. All she's got is one shot, and she doesn't aim.
Cut a long story short, she shoots, doesn't hit anybody, and the motorbikes run over Jesse and the invisible kid.
And in fairness, I do like...
You don't see it happen.
You don't see it happen. All you see is Jesse's shoe flops down the road a little bit, and the ball that the kid was carrying rolls down the road at speed. It's effective. It tells you exactly what happens, and it's kind of a devastating scene. Like, it's a harsh one. You know what's happened. They're dead. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Harsh. Oh, look, here's Max.
Running, yeah. Sort of being John McClane. He's got the white under vest on.
Yeah.
But
proper cardio on this, because he's been running for a while to get there, because they were driving for a bit.
They were driving. That's Hollywood for you, or Australian version of Hollywood. They cut to the scene where I didn't even know it was the wife, because it looks like a withered husk in the bed.
Yeah, she's missing an arm. She's got lacerations of her liver and her spleen and gallbladder or whatever. Everything. Just gives out a laundry list of stuff that's broken. The doctor says that's 50-50. She might pull through, but she'll never really be functioning.
He's like saying get all the organs ready or something like that.
Yeah. And then the nurse in the background goes, "Oh yeah, they lost the child this morning," or something like that.
DOA.
It's Max is just listening in from the doorway, and this is where Mel Gibson actually starts acting.
Well, it's become he becomes mad.
He becomes Mad Max, and he does it so bloody well in this scene. There's anger and just craziness in his eyes. It's just well done.
Yeah. So basically, he's actually. So this is another thing that doesn't ever transpire. He has the rubber mask, and he's looking at it before he decides to get his car.
Mad. Halls of Justice. Dun dun dun.
So what's the deal with the rubber mask? He doesn't wear it like
Yeah,
Michael
I think
Myers in Halloween or anything.
it was in the earlier on when he was trying to cheer up his wife or something like that. I can't remember. He was wearing it or she was wearing it. But there was a lovely scene of loveliness earlier with the mask. He's looking at it longingly. Oh, I wish he wasn't dead.
Yeah. Anyway, he frisks the mechanic to find out where they are, and they're
quite physically interrogates him by lowering a car from its jack onto his chest.
Yeah,
crushes
pretty
him.
much. Yeah.
Ouch. It works.
Yeah. So they're the bikers are sort of robbing gas or whatever, and they're riding along.
Before we mention this, the important thing to take away from him taking a trip to the Hall of Justice is he goes there for one thing. He puts on his leathers, goes to the Hall of Justice, and picks up the last of the V8s. This beautiful muscle car that we're teased with earlier on.
Yeah.
Now he gets to drive it, and it's such a lovely machine.
And like, it has to be said, this is the last like 10 minutes of the movie. So if you're looking for an hour and 28 minutes of Mad Max,
fast forward to the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're not getting it. You're getting an hour and 15 minutes of something, and then it's 10 minutes of Mad Max.
He's a very angry Max, this fella.
Yeah. Anyway, he cuts through them all, a bunch of them.
Yep.
Somebody
turns
gets
on
a
his
wheel
nitrous
today.
oxide and just blasts through them and wipes. I think it's Johnny the boy. He knocks off the road, and he gets the dog chase him.
Yeah, somebody gets a wheel to the head. I saw in one of the things.
I wrote that down. I think that obviously is not an intentional scene, but it's the stunt lads who come off the bikes on the bridge.
Yeah.
So he blasts through them, knocks Johnny the boy off his bike, blasts through them, goes out of sight, over a hill, and then spins the car around, comes flying backwards, so that when he does meet them, they're blindsided by him because they can't see him coming over the hill, and he meets them on a bridge where they have nowhere to go. So he's probably killed 3 or 4 of them in this one scene.
Yeah. There's
a great move. It's fantastic.
A lot of fast cuts, way too fast, I thought, to
the best
I don't
you
know.
can do to advertise.
Yeah. Anyway, he's chasing the other people, and this is what I found stupid. He's behind a truck, and there's a lot of grass on the right. Just go around the fucking truck.
I know. I'm not sure what the point of that truck was, other than maybe it happened in real life. And they're like, God damn it, I'll leave it in.
Yeah. And then there's an alert out on the radio, and it's like, okay, are the cops going to chase after him now? It's become a bit more complicated. I thought that was going to add a little bit more, depth to the end section here, but no. The cops don't come out.
The one thing to remember from earlier on that Fifi did say, as long as the paperwork's clean, do what you want on the road.
Yeah, but the message was like going, a V8 black car taken without permission or something.
Oh yeah, Max nicking the car.
Yeah.
I missed that actually. I missed that on the radio.
Something like that on the radio. Anyway, this the next guy he kills, and a character we haven't mentioned yet, but he actually, Bubba, I think his name is, the blonde-haired guy.
Yeah,
I thought if they involved him a bit more, I thought he would have been. He was quite a sinister character, wasn't he?
I think this scene's good in my head because it sets up the type of character that Max is in the next 2 movies. So what happens is there's a bike off the road, cut through a fence, and is lying down. It looks like somebody's dead. So Max stops his car, gets out, feels like there might be something going on, but he pulls out his sawn-off shotgun, starts slowly walking towards Johnny the boy, and then somebody shoots him in the leg. So they did have a gun.
Yeah, true.
So I'm not sure why it wasn't brought out earlier, but they shoot him in the leg. So Max goes down. He spills his shotgun. Now, this is where it becomes very Mad Max in that he spills his shotgun. 2 lads, Bubba and Toe Cutter, come flying up, and he's reaching for a shotgun to kill them, but they run over his arm. So now he's down an arm and a leg. And Toe Cutter turns to Bubba and goes, don't mess with him, just kill him. And Bubba goes, I know what I'm doing. But what he doesn't realize is that Mad Max character is, he just doesn't really care too much about the pain he's enduring. He just goes through it, and he manages to reach over and shoot Bubba. And I think that's force of nature, just all willpower is the kind of point behind Mad Max and all the movies after this.
Yeah, it's a lot of retribution happens very quickly, and
yeah, especially in the last 5 minutes.
yeah, I don't really, because then he just chases after Toe Cutter, and Toe Cutter just crashes into a truck.
Yes, so Toe Cutter almost isn't all that important in this one.
Not really.
It's Johnny the Boy.
Well, yeah, because he's not even the last death, because it's then quickly followed by Johnny the Boy. He's sort of at
He
this
takes his
crash
time
scene.
on Johnny.
Yeah, he handcuffs him, and
I find this scene excellent. Though
yeah, it's a good one.
What's
It's a lot
he says to
more
him?
thought out.
So Johnny the Boy, Max comes to another crash scene where he stops his car, looks over, and there's a truck upside down, and he sees Johnny the Boy taking shoes off a corpse.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, gets his shotgun, stumbles down, and places the shotgun at the back of Johnny the Boy's head while he's lying on the ground putting on shoes. And he hands him a pair of handcuffs and goes, on your ankle.
Yeah.
And then this is very violent how he treats Johnny the Boy. He picks up the other side of the handcuffs and drags him by his ankle over to the Jeep or the truck that's upside down and handcuffs him to it. All the while, Johnny the Boy is freaking out. Man, I didn't kill him. He was like that. I got him. Blah, blah, blah,
blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Max don't care.
No.
Not anymore, he doesn't. So Max is spending a bit of time. He's cutting things up and he's gets the headlight and he puts it underneath. Again, fuel pouring out of the tank, very similar to how Goose is cooked. And he's letting that fill up, and right beside that he has a lighter he turns on and just leaves there, waiting for the headlamp to overfill and explode and take out whoever's right beside it. And obviously the tank will go up at the same time. This is a great line, in my opinion, but he pulls out a hacksaw, shows it to Johnny the Boy, says, this is high tensile steel, this chain. Take about 10 minutes to cut through it, but if you're lucky, you'll cut through your ankle in 5, and just drops it on the ground and walks off. I love this scene.
I think it's a good scene, and I think we needed a lot more of that in the movie, more thoughtful, like Toe Cutter and Bubba, I think his name is, should have gone a bit more evolved like that.
Yes.
I think. Anyway, I think the last sentence of the movie is Johnny the Boy going, "You're mad, man."
He's right.
Boom.
As he drives off, he's slowly, he's not speeding away, but I love this scene where you can't see the truck, you can't see Johnny the Boy, and it just explodes and he's just driving out, doesn't look back. Great. Very 1970s / early 80s hardcore hero type thing.
You have a rolling road to finish the movie.
Finn.
Plot.
I give it 2.
Yeah.
I'm being generous, I think, but 2. I think it's culturally significant, so I'm going to give it a 2. It's not a great plot, let's be honest.
No. I had it on 2, but then I gave it 2.5 because I'm really I don't want to give this movie like 1 point something on average because I don't think it deserves that, but it's struggling to get 2.5 on average because
music's going to drag it down, isn't it?
Big time.
I
also
might scuff the numbers on music just because it deserves not to be just an average movie. It's an important movie.
I put the production score up a bit. Acting I gave 2 because I think there's a lot of bad acting in this, to be honest with you. And Mel Gibson hasn't found its feet yet, and I just cannot give it 2.5.
The last 10 minutes, he's really good.
He doesn't talk. He just
looks angry the whole time. And I think he portrays a lot without actually saying much other than chop your ankle off.
Yeah. What did you give acting?
I give it 3. The majority of the actors in this are absolute rubbish. But I thought Max, when he starts acting at the very end, I'm being very generous here, I have to admit.
You are.
But I love the anger and how it's portrayed in the last 10 minutes. Because in my head, all of this movie is based on the bit where he goes mad. Everything else is just setting it up. There's too much setup.
Mad, don't mind if I do. So that's
yeah. I've been very generous, but I'm going to stick with it because, like yourself, I don't want to mark this down too heavy because I think this movie spawned a genre.
yeah, no, it deserves to be watched and recognized. I actually, for sound brackets track, I had initially put 0.25 because I was just so annoyed.
That's a bit harsh. It is
harsh, but I still am being harsh. I'm giving it 1. Listen, the 1 is basically, I'm ignoring all the music.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I'm, the sound of the cars and everything, and the motorbikes is cool, but anybody can do that.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 1.5 just for the sound of the V8 at the beginning and end of the movie.
You give a lot of ratings for the last 10 minutes of the movie.
It's so important. I can't ignore how important it is.
It's not a movie without it.
No, without the last 10 minutes, is it?
Yeah, it's
kind
just
of
Max.
garbage. Yeah.
Coming soon to a cinema near you.
Garbage.
Max.
He's not angry at all. He's kind of a normal guy.
His wife and son dies at the end of the movie and he doesn't do anything. The end.
He's a bit sad.
Coming to you. Sad Max.
Retires to his beach house. Cries for a while.
Cries. The end.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same.
No, it wouldn't. No.
He gets counseling.
He gets counseling. Sad Max 2.
He gets more counseling. And a dog.
Yeah.
Oh no, they killed his dog. Oh God.
Anyway, production I gave 3. It should be 2.5, but I'm giving it 3 just because. All right, the plot, the weight of the plot sucks. Sound brackets track sucks, but I think they did well with the design elements of the vehicles and outside scenery and I think stuff like that.
Yeah, some of the shots they took, or the choices they had for the scenery, yeah, fantastic. Especially that last scene, fantastic. But before that, there was actually some interesting shots as well. Yeah, I give 2.75, mostly for cars and bikes. And it's well done. It really is. It is the strongest point of the movies that come after this as well, as the amount of effort and time they spend actually designing and building these cars. So I think it deserves a few points for that.
Cool. Tom Buckley in the New York Times gave it 40 out of 100. He said Mad Max is ugly and incoherent and aimed probably accurately at the most uncritical of moviegoers.
Probably about right, yeah.
It's us.
Yeah.
Jack Crawl in Newsweek gave it 90 out of 100. He said, junky, freaky, sadistic, masochistic. Mad Max has a perverse intelligence revving inside its pop exterior. It's a crazy kaleidoscope, spelt COLLIDE.
Oh, God.
A gear-stripping vision of human destiny careening towards a cosmic junkyard. Holy shit.
He's overplaying his hand there.
He's playing his journalistic hand.
Yeah. Nah, I can see where he's going with it. I think that's more appropriate for the second movie, if you don't mind me saying. I think that's a much better movie and would be better described by what he just said there.
Yeah. It is what it is. It's a good movie that has spawned a lot of other movies because of its stuff.
Unfortunately, it spawned Beyond the Thunderdome as well, which was awful shite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was shocking.
There was like a
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner, yeah. Yeah, there's like a big cage or something in that, wasn't there? Like fighting in a cage.
The Master Blaster chap. Yeah. I've seen all of those movies like 20 times. I loved them as a teenager. But if I'm honest, the third movie is garbage. It's better than this. But garbage.
There you go.
Second movie is just a classic. Amazing piece of cinema.
All right. Well, it's good to watch this one, though. It's good.
Oh yes, very important
for the film history chops. So yeah, so that's it. Let's crash this episode off a cliff or something. Got anything else?
As Jessie says, toodle pips. I think she says to the mechanic.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good, very vague reference to the movie. Toodle pips. All right. So If you haven't reviewed us or anything, do that. Like us on whatever social media you wanted to. And next episode, we're not rolling a dice. It's the recap of 71 to 79. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Ta-da!